Cookie Run Kingdom is a game. And just like any game, there's going to be beginners, and just like beginners do, they're going to make mistakes. So today I wanted to make a video going over the 7 mistakes that I see every beginner, including me when I started this game, make in Cookie Run Kingdom. Make sure to stay until the end where I talk about the biggest mistake and how to avoid it. So going off for number 1, and that is going to be an inactive guild. So when you first start and join the game, if the guild isn't a thing that just immediately presents itself, nor is it something that you would really consider to be that important, but boy oh boy would you be wrong. So the guild gives you many things. It gives you friends to play the game with, which is honestly nice, but on top of that, it gives you guild buffs, it gives you the guild gacha, and it gives you the guild battle. So now what these things allow you to do is just multiple forms of resources. With the guild battle, you get medals that you can get from each battle that will allow you to spend in the shop. You get essences, souls, you get relics, you get cookie gacha pulls. You get a lot of stuff out of this guild shop. And on top of that, you get rewards at the end of the round and the end of the season based off how good your guild does. Even down here at the Crystal 3, you get 1,200 rainbow cubes for the season and thousands of crystals for the round. And on top of that, that's just the guild battle. If we take a step back and look at the guild gacha, guys, look at how much I have. I have 5 million of the heroic torch. I stopped pooling this because it just got too time consuming. It would take me 50 pools to pool everything. And the reason why is because they give this to you in excess, which is fantastic when you first start. Because when you first start, you really are just looking for anything you can get. And the guild gacha will give you cream puff and more. Now you might be thinking, why is cream puff so useful? 2 reasons. Cream Puff with her magic candy is a good healer, actually a very good healer. And 2, when you start getting Cream Puff maxed out, which is extremely easy because she can be gone through the guild gacha, you will then be getting mileage points and epic essences every time you pull her, and it will change the game for you. The mileage points can be used for the mileage shop, for treasure tickets, for speed boost, for soul stones. The epic essence can then be used to upgrade your epic cookies. It is extremely important to be in an active guild, guys. So then number 2, and this is going to be something that I touched on a few times in prior videos, but I just think it's so important, that is powering up the wrong cookies. So now guys, it's a game, and it's a game about cookies. If there's a cookie that you really like and enjoy, go ahead, power them up. Have fun with it. And like, I got my guy donut cookie, Space Donut, who when he came out was pretty useful, but now isn't. But I love him so much because he's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I mean, look at him. I wish you could like spin them by like clicking the mouse and spinning them, but cute as bunnies. But the point being though, is that if you really want to focus on kind of pushing through the arena or getting into like the more successful stages, just focus on powering up the right cookies. Now, an easy way to look at it is which cookies got the most recent magic candies and which cookies were just most recently released. So for in this instance, a lot of this would be the new ancient beast legendaries, but you could probably guess that. So when it comes to the epics, really, this is when it's a bit more nuanced. I recommend doing your own research, looking at, tier lists or other people's videos or my videos as well, and then seeing what cookies you think are worth it. There's a lot of good cookies. There really is. So hopefully one of the cookies that are good are a cookie that you like and you want to boost them up. But really, I've seen people, one of my viewers commented that when they started playing the game, they got Custard the 3rd cookie up to level 70 until they realized that wasn't a good idea, which makes me laugh because I got him up to level 50 and then I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? So this just goes to show it will happen. It can happen. It's really easy to happen when you don't know what you're looking for. So, just focus on powering up the right cookies or the more powerful cookies and the cookies you like. You want a good mix of that fun, but the success, which leads to number 3, and that is power levels. So power levels, this isn't Dragon Ball Z. Power levels tell you how strong a cookie is, or you would think. So it is a pretty good way of gauging how strong your cookie is, but the power is really not based off of, but it heavily scales with the attack stat, attack and cooldown. So cookies cookies that have a big focus on attack, as you can see here, 1 million plus because I got all the raspberry. Then I've got Moonlight again, 1 million plus with all the raspberry. But then you look at someone else, let's go look at Burning Spice, and he's at 750,000 despite having all raspberry. You would see that off bat and think, oh wow, Moonlight is stronger than Burning Spice. Wind Archer is stronger than Burning Spice. That's not a good way to look at it, because two things. One, they have different positions. Burning Spice is a charged cookie, while Moonlight and Wind Archer are magic and ranged. So clearly those two are more focused on damage, while Burning Spice is more focused on taking some damage. So it makes sense he'd have lower power, but when you don't understand what goes into that calculation, you wouldn't be able to notice that. So another important thing is, as I mentioned with the different types serving different roles, even the cookies of the same type can have different power levels, and you shouldn't allow that to deter you from making a team. For example, my Pure Vanilla Ascendant has 380,000 power. My Mystic Flower has 457. You might see that and think, well, clearly Mystic Flower is stronger. And you'd be wrong. Dead wrong. Pure Vanilla by every means is better than Mystic Flower at this point in time. Now, I don't expect them to release a boost for Mystic Flower. That'd be kind of ridiculous if they did in the next 2 years even. For the next quite while, Pure Vanilla is the better healer. And despite having less power, 70,000 less, that's still the case. And that's why it's important when you're making these teams, it's important to not base it off a power level, which leads me to number 4, and that is building teams exclusively based on the power. Now, number 4 really touches a lot with number 3, but I just want to kind of touch base on it to show you guys in more detail why the team building is not a good idea. So if we come in here to the arena and we look at my attackers, we can see this team has 3.5 million attack. If we go to this team, 3.4 million attack. If we go to this team, 3.6. So now off bat, you'd be thinking, oh, well, 3.6, higher power, stronger team, they'd win. So this is where the skill and actual use case of the cookie is extremely important. So as you can see here, this highest power team with the Crimson Coral up front is the one with the most attackers. So it makes sense it'd have the higher power. But can this team's durability survive? Is it as good as these other two teams? And the answer, in my experience, has been no. This Crimson Coral team, while it does work in the higher ranks and does work against some teams, I've had far more success with these two other teams that both have lesser power. And the reason is because these teams are built with a better purpose in mind with the current meta. Now, Crimson Coral is a good team, but this team is really about Crimson Coral busts the team up, keeps them alive, while Pure Vanilla heals, and these three deal damage. What this team does differently than the other team, and the reason why it's better, is because Elder Fairy, instead of just protecting and buffing the entire team, he really buffs their attack, buffs their damage resist, and buffs their HP. And on top of that, he applies it to multiple cookies, and then Burning Spice as well serves as that damage reduction role while dealing damage. So not only does Elder Fairy boost stats and damage, Burning Spice is just also on the front dealing a lot. So those two in tandem with this setup will deal more damage and block more than Crimson Coral and this team would with their setup. Now, similar case with Stormbringer and such. This is all based on different variables, such as which cookies you have built the best for the meta, which cookies you have higher level, and just a few factors like that. So just because I have a team a certain way that works a certain way doesn't mean you will. And just because you see someone else work a team a certain way doesn't mean it'll work that way for you. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people build cookies a certain way and I try to see, let's see if that works for me, and it doesn't. There's multiple reasons why. Either, my cookies were just lower leveled, or the labs weren't properly upgraded, the magic candies weren't as high. There's a few teams that have Sea Flary on them and they require level 30 magic candy. If you just look at the team, you wouldn't be able to tell that. You would just see, oh, that's a good team, good setup, high power, let me go for it, without missing the fact you are not having key details that are needed for that team. So really, that's just what I wanted to drive home about built power levels. You shouldn't focus on power levels when it comes to cookies, and you definitely shouldn't base your team build off of the power level. So that leads me to number 5, and it is one of what I think the most important things, and that is the Tree of Wishes. So they actually just recently updated the tree to include Platinum Wishes, which is something that I find very interesting. But the reason right here, as you can see, it gives you 5 times the money, and also if you were to refresh it, it immediately renews. But the reason why I bring up the Tree of Wishes is because the coins is one of the most, honestly, in the early game, one of the most difficult things to keep up. I remember when I was first starting to play this game, I would literally run out of money while upgrading my buildings, upgrading my cookies, and upgrading. There's just so much stuff to upgrade. So you need to be active with the Tree of Wishes, which is why I want to bring it up. It is easy to miss that money and miss the gold that you get from it, and then just start falling behind on a lot of your upgrades. So the Tree of Wishes, what I wanted to emphasize with it is really focus with it on during the weekend. So during the weekend is something called burning time. Now what burning time allows you to do is for each wish, you will get 30% more gold. So that means the same resources will give you 30% more benefit. Easy. That's good. But then on top of that, you also get triple the daily reward. And those Aurora items are really useful and beneficial. You'll run out of them before you realize it. You'll be upgrading things, upgrading the Statue of Radiance and other buildings, and then you'll realize you have 5 and you needed 40. So really, the Tree of Wishes is important, and I recommend doing it daily. But if you're unable to do it daily, really focus on just getting as many wishes in on the weekend as possible. I'm telling you, if you're able to just keep pushing these out when it's the weekend, you get that extra 30%, you're going to be in a position where you just have more money than you know what to deal with. And then you'll probably hit the point where you're out of money again. It's just the cycle of the game until you get a point where you're basically caught up on upgrades and you hit a big cash influx. But then they hit you with new building upgrades that I got to do, like upgrading all my houses, which leads me to number 6. So the houses produce experience, which leads to cookies, which lead to battles, which lead to the arena. Now, get back to the arena, and the reason why I want to get back to the arena is because the arena is an important part of the game, because you get good rewards. You're able to kind of play the PvP aspect of the game. And the big thing that I really want to emphasize here is a bait team. Now, if you've seen my past videos, you know I've talked about a bait team before. Now, what a bait team is literally just a team to bait people to attacking you. So as you can see here, I've got the mighty trio, you know, the 3 musketeers, ginger rave, strawberry, and wizard cookie. And what these guys do is literally just get their butts kicked for me to get revenge battles. Now you might be thinking, Barry, what's the benefit to this? You know, like, you're losing battles, your cookies are getting beat. What do you get from this? That's a good question, friend. What you get from this is a ton of easy revenge battles. Look at that. Look at all those revenge battles. Now, what each revenge battle does is it gives you trophies and ranks you up. Now, it'll give you items to use in the medal shop, these medals of victory, as well as trophies to boost up your ranking. The reason why a bait team is so useful is because it's free rank up points, it's free coins, and the shop is one of the most useful things. I'm talking being able to get free epic and super epic ancient soul stones and more is extremely handy. I mean, it'll be a while until you max out a legendary or super epic. A while. So really, you want to stack those as much as you can. And if you're able to get into Grandmaster, I haven't yet this season, but if you're able to get into Grandmaster, you're able to spend 10,000 medals for a legendary cookie soulstone, which is extremely useful if you're at that point of the game. You know what I mean? So really, set up that bait team. Don't miss it. Even if you're in the lower ranks, being able to get those free wins is just going to be nice. You know what I mean? You don't have to go out of your way to hunt down easy to beat teams. They come to you. And that leads me to number 7 in what I consider to be by a mile the most important thing. And that is the houses. Now I kind of teased it all when I was saying number 6, but number 7, the big one, the important one, the houses. Now I have seen people minimize the houses, like undermine them. That's not even the proper word, but not invest in them as they should. And the reason why that's an issue is because the houses are your main method of gaining experience. I mean, this house right here produces 1318 an hour. I believe that's what that means. I honestly, every 16 hours, but these stack quickly. Once you start getting more houses and they just keep putting out experience, you'll get more than, not more than what you need to deal with, you know what to deal with them, but you'll get more than what you were expecting, in the sense that experience is hard to get in this game. You know, you get it from story missions, you get it from event rewards, but there's really no unlimited method except the houses. And the thing is, I've seen multiple people not level up their houses, and then their cookies suffer, and then they're unable to level up the cookies, and then they stop having fun with the game because they're like, I just keep losing and I can't even power up my cookies. What should I do? level up the houses. If you're ever at a point where you don't know what to do, you know, cookies are struggling, you're lower leveled, anything, leveling up the houses is probably the solution. I wish I could like throw a band-aid on this, like that flex it seal tape that guy with a lot of damage commercial does. This is the lot of damage solution for Cookie Run Kingdom. Just upgrade the houses. If you're losing in arena, upgrade the houses. If you're losing it in PvE, upgrade the houses. If you just got your butt kicked in guild battle, upgrade the houses. Now, I get that's not an immediate solution to your problems, but in due time, that problem will go away. So guys, that's everything for today. I wanted to really touch on the 7 mistakes every beginner makes in this game, including me, and also probably including you. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment below and hit the like button and subscribe, and let me know what you guys liked about the video and what else you guys want to see in the future.